नमस्ते बिटियाओं, खुश रहिए। आई JV Muskan Kumari from the Department of Science and Technology, and I'm working here as an assistant professor in Vidyapeeth University and the Faculty of Education. So today I will discuss the new sessions with you. That's name is the basic introductions regarding the transport layer. Okay, so I have read about the physical layer, data link layer, their protocols, network layer, and what are the services provided by network layer, and what are the various protocols used in the network layer clear. So now coming to the transport layer, I have discussed the transport layer, and then I will discuss the transport layer protocol in the next session. Clear? So to make this session very easily and smoothly to all of you, I am just going to share the files which helps you to the better understanding regarding this topic. Clear? So hold 1 minute. Introduction towards the transport layer. Now, what is the transport layer? Transport layer is the fourth layer from the top, isn't it? This transport layer is the fourth layer from the top. If you are taking the top, uh, the main role of the transport layer is to provide the communication services directly to the application process which is running on the different host. And the transport layer also provides the logical communication between application process which is running on the different hosts. Although the application process on different hosts are not physically connected, application process use the logical communication which is provided by the transport layer to send the message to each other. Clear? The transport layer are implemented in the in system but not in the network issues or the network router. Clear? So, network computer network provides more than one protocols to the network application. For example, TCP and UDP are two transport layer protocols that provides a different set of services to the network layer. And all transport layer protocols provide the multiplexing and demultiplexing services. It also provides the other services like the reliable data transfer, bandwidth guarantees, and delay guarantee also. Clear? Now we talk about the each of the applications in the application layer has the ability to send a message by using TCP or UDP. The application communicates by using either of these two protocols also. Okay, both TCP and UDP protocols will then communicate with the internet protocol in the internet layer, and the application can read and write to the transport layer. Therefore, we can also say like the communication is a two-way process. Okay. Now you can see this example which is showing you the at transport layer. Clear? So you can see here is the internet layer which is just within the transport layer, and just above the transport layer there is an application layer. Okay, so in transport layer there are two protocols are used in this layer. One is a TCP, another is UDP. And in internet layer there is only one protocol used, that is the internet IP. And in the application layer you can see here all the applications are situated in the application layer in the various locations. Clear? So now if you talk about the what are the services which is basically provided by the transport layer, then we can easily see that and also say like the services provided by the transport layer are similar to those to those of the data link layer. The data link layer also provides the services within the network layer, while transport layer provides the services across the internet world, which is made up of many networks. Clear? Now, if we talk about the data link layer, so data link layer controls the physical layer while transport layer controls all the lower layer. Okay, so now the services which is basically provided by the transport layer can be divided into five categories. First is the end-to-end delivery. Second is the addressing. Third is reliable delivery. Fourth is flow control and multiplexing delivery. Okay. Now, what is do we mean by end-to-end delivery? If we talk about the transport layer, transmit the entire message to the destination side. Therefore, it ensures the end-to-end delivery of an entire message from the source to destination. Isn't it? Reliable delivery is what? The reliable transport layer also provides the reliability services by transmitting the host and damaged packet. Clear? Now, the reliable delivery has four steps. First is your error control, second, sequence control, third, loss control, and the duplication control also. If we talk about the error control, which is in the reliable delivery, that is the second services of the transport layer. So, the primary role of the reliability is error control. In reliability, no transmission will be 100% error-free delivery, but that might be not the error controlling the delivery. So, therefore, transport layer protocols are designed to provide the error-free transmission. Now, data link layer also provides the error handling mechanism, but it ensures only node-to-node free delivery. And however, if we are talking about the node-to-node free delivery, then you can also say that node-to-node reliability doesn't ensure that end-to-end reliability. Clear? Data link layer also checks the error between the network. If an error is introduced inside one of the router, then this error will not be caught by the data link layer. It also detects those errors that have been introduced between the beginning and end of the link. Therefore, transport layer also performs the checking for the errors end to end and ensures that the packet has been arrived in correctly. Okay. Now, so this is all about the error control. If we talk about the transport layer, basically provides you the services which helps you to control the error very frequently. Okay. So now, if we talk about the error control, then you have mentioned this all the points. Now see, errors not checked at the data link layer. Suppose. Then here is the client, here is the server. They are sending the data packets which is sent through the internet layer that has the routers. Okay. So data packets is sent to pieces. Error is checked at the data link layer, whatever the data is provided by this one. So, before linking, establish the linking between the source to destination. Data link layer checks the at the data link layer to check the error. Okay, error not checked at the data link layer. Here is that at the router side, if error is not checked, then the packet is delivered to the unauthorized and any destination sites. Okay, any router, any systems which is present at that particular network. Okay? And this is happening just due to the broadcasting of the data packets also, or the incorrect information of the data. Now, if we talk about the sequence control, then the second aspect of reliability is sequence control, which is implemented at the transport layer. On the sending end, the transport layer is responsible for ensuring the packets which is received from the upper layer and can be used by the lower layer also. On the receiving end, it ensures that the various segments of the transmission can be correctly reassembled. Okay. Now, if you talk about the loss control, then loss control is a third aspect of reliability. The transport layer ensures that all the fragments of the transmission arrive at the destination, not some of them. Isn't it? all all is sending, not some of them, and some of them are also left, isn't it? So we are sending the all. At the second in sending in, all the fragments of the transmissions are given sequence number by a transport layer also. These sequence number allow the receivers to transport layers to identify the missing signals. Okay. Now, if we talk about the control, duplication control. Duplication control is the fourth aspect of the reliability. The transport layer guarantees that no duplicate data arrive at the destination. So, sequence number are used to identify the loss of the data packet. Similarly, it also allows the receivers to identify and discard duplicate signals. Now, what is the flow control? Flow control is used to prevent the sender from overwhelming the receiver. If receiver is overloaded with too much data, then receivers discard the packets and asking for the retransmission of the data packet. The increased network congestion and thus reducing the system performance. The transport layer is also responsible for flow control. It uses the sliding window protocols that makes the data transmission more efficiently, as well as it controls the flow of data so that the receiver doesn't become overwhelmed. Sliding window protocol is byte-oriented protocols rather than the frame-oriented. Clear? Now, if we talk about more multiplexing, then we can say flow control is used to also prevent the senders from overwhelming the receiver side. If the receiver is overloaded with too much data, then receiver discards the packets and asking for the retransmission of the data packet. Then receiver discards the and asking for the retransmission of packets, the increased network congestion and thus reducing the system performance also. The transport layer is responsible for flow of control and it uses the sliding window protocols that makes the data transmission more efficiently as well as flow of data so that receivers doesn't become overwhelmed. Sliding window protocol is byte-oriented rather than the frame-oriented data packets also. If we talk about the multiplexing, I have already discussed the multiplexing, but once again I am recalling this one. The transport layer also uses the multiplexing for what? To improving the transmission efficiency. If we talk about the multiplexing, then it will be happens in two ways. First is the upward multiplexing, second will be your downward multiplexing. Okay. So, upward multiplexing, which means the multiple transport layer connections uses the same network connections, isn't it? And to make more cost effective, the transport layer sends several transmissions bound for the same destination along the same path, and this is achieved through the upward multiplexing. And if we talk about, you can see this in this diagram that upper layer stack is multiple here 1 2 3, and this is basically operated by one virtual circuit. Okay, that is the upward multiplexing call. If we talk about the downward multiplexing, then the downward multiplexing means one transport layer connections and the multiple network layer connection. Downward multiplexing allows the transport layer to split the connections among several paths to improve the throughputs. This type of multiplexing is used when network has low or slow capacity. Now you can see this in the this diagram. Clear? There is only one network. Now, what is the addressing? That is the third uh, services of transport layer. According to the layered model, the transport layer also interacts with the functions of the session layer Many protocol combine the session layer, presentation layer, and application layer protocols into a single application layer protocol. In this case, delivery of the to session layer means the delivery to the application layer. Data also generated by the application on one machine must be transmitted to correct applications on the another machine. In case addressing is provided by the transport layer. Transport layer also provides the address which is specified as a station or port. The port variable represents a particular TS user of a specified station, also known as the transport service access point. Transport layer protocol need to know which is upper layer protocols are communicating. Now here you can easily see that there is three layers, one, two, three, and here is three layers more. Here is the peer-to-peer communication is established, and here you can see that peer-to-peer communication is established from source to the destinations. Here is the physical layer, this is data link layer, network layer, internet layer, transport layer, and here is the multiple applications which is clear. So I have discussed the transport layer, their services, clear, and what are the various during the services, what are the addressing, isn't it? Error controls and the brief discussed regarding the error controls. This multiplexing is what is the multiplexing? Isn't it about the multiplexing, number multiplexing? So students, please read this session by yourself once again also, and in case if any problem arises during the reading and understanding of this session, then please let me know your query or the problems by dropping your problems into the comment section box, through which I will discuss that problems with you in the next session. And many more questions if arises from this session, then you have to perform the answers with very precisely and point to point manners, isn't it? The services of the transport layer. What do you mean by the end delivery? What is the error control? Isn't it? What is the sequence control? What is the loss control? These what is the multiplexing? How many types of multiplexing? How many ways multiplexing will occur? So these all type of questions may be arises. So we need to prepare these sessions very deeply. Okay. Also refers to read these sessions for multiple standard books, frozen books, okay, and many more sites which is gives you the open access. Clear? Okay, thank you.